Today we're going to demonstrate FlashCut software on our all-new ArcMaxX table paired with a Hypertherm XPR170. When we open FlashCut, the first thing we notice at the top of the screen is CAD mode, CAM mode, and CNC mode. CAD is where we'll design our parts, CAM is where we'll define the plasma cutting settings, and CNC is where we'll operate the table and run our parts. Let's start by making a part. In this top toolbar, we'll notice a lot of common tools if you used any design software, like lines, rectangles, arcs, circles, and a number of modification tools off to the right here. Let's begin by clicking rectangle. I'll then click at my origin, and I'll make a 2 by 2 inch rectangle. To dimension the part in more detail, we can come over to the settings on the right-hand side of the screen. If I wanted to modify the width or length of the rectangle, I can type in my final dimension and press enter. When I'm happy with my settings, I'll click the green check mark to lock in that shape. The graphical representation updates in real time, so we now see that this is the current final part. I'm going to add a few more features and then we'll move on into CAM mode. Next we'll click circle. And now wherever I click, that circle will begin. So I'll click in the center of my part here. And again, I can use the graphical representation to pick the size, or I can arbitrarily click a size and fill in the exact dimension on the right side of the screen. Let's say we want that hole to be 1.5 inches. The green check mark, again, will lock in the part. The last tool we'll use in this example is the corner tool. By clicking the corner tool, I get the options of chamfer, fillet, or sharp corner. So I'm going to add a chamfer to the top right corner here. The green check mark will always lock in the feature. Now that I've designed my part, I'm going to move it from CAD into CAM by clicking the arrow next to them. In this screen, I'll define my settings for the material and for the plasma operation. I'll start with material settings by clicking this button, choosing my material type, which in this case will be mild steel, choosing my material thickness, which in our case will be 3/4 inch, and clicking the green check mark to lock in those settings. It warns me that I'm changing my strategy from the last time I cut a part, so I'll click yes to that. Notice this box gets highlighted red after I change my settings. That's warning me that I need to change settings in the plasma settings operation. I'm going to be cutting at 170 amps. I'm going to be cutting with oxygen and air, and I'm going to click the green check mark to lock in those settings. Notice the toolpath shows up now, showing the direction of the cut and the lead-ins and lead-outs that are automatically generated. To edit lead-ins and lead-outs, I click the diamond, and I can make any edits I want to the length or type of lead-in. In this case, I'll use a 1/2 inch lead-in and a 1/2 inch lead-out. The green check mark will lock in those settings. Now that my part looks ready to cut, I'm going to move from CAM mode into CNC mode by clicking the arrow next to CAM. I'll proceed without remnant updates, and I'm ready to cut my part in CNC mode. In the bottom right hand of the screen, we have options to jog the table around, and we also have options to move to specific coordinates on the table. I'm going to move to my program 0 now. Now that I've set my program 0, my XPR is on and connected, I'm ready to cut my part. I come down to the play button at the bottom of the screen and click Run G-code. I'll briefly get a warning message. Is it okay to proceed? I'll click yes to that. Here's our final part. Now let me show you a couple settings that we can change by going back into CAM mode. Now you'll notice on our final part that any sharp corner can tend to get a little bit of a flat spot and a rounded look to it. This is common in plasma cutting, but we have a few techniques to improve that. By going to Plasma Settings and scrolling through my settings, I have an option called Corner Shape. Instead of sharp, I'm going to set that to rounded loops. The green check mark will lock in that setting. Now as this part is cut, instead of taking a right turn, the torch will go past the corner, loop around, and come back into the corner, typically getting better results. So here we can compare that corner on these two different parts. On the left, we have the corner that just took the sharp turn, and on the right, we have the corner that took the rounded loop. We'll notice a lot more detail and crispness on that bottom left corner there. The next setting I'm going to talk about is nesting. If this is a part that we're happy with and we're doing a production run where we want maybe 20, 50, or 100 of these, we can very easily nest them onto our material. First, we'll come up to Material Settings. And on the right-hand side of our screen, we can type in the width and length of our sheet. In this case, I'm using a 60-inch by 60-inch sheet. The green check mark locks in that setting. As I zoom out, the purple window represents that 60 by 60 sheet. If I click True Shape Nesting, I get my nesting settings. Let's say the order was for 25 of this part. I simply type in 25, click Start Nesting, and there's 25 parts spread out along the sheet. The green check mark locks it in, and I click this arrow to go ahead and cut out the part.